Ever pondered about the role of men in today's society? Are their roles changing, evolving, or remaining stagnant? Each era, each culture has unique expectations and norms for men. From the stoic warriors of the past to the sensitive, emotionally articulate men of the present, the definition of man is not as rigid as one may think. It's a fluid spectrum influenced by societal norms and personal values. Join us as we delve into this fascinating exploration of the modern man. Picture the traditional man, often portrayed as the breadwinner and protector. This image of masculinity, deeply embedded in our culture, paints men as the sturdy oak, standing tall against the storms of life. From the dawn of civilization, men have been seen as the providers. They were the hunters in our hunter-gatherer societies, the warriors defending the tribe, the farmers tilling the soil. This image of men as providers is not just about putting food on the table, it's about fulfilling a role, a responsibility to the family and society at large. Then we have the protector, the knight in shining armor, the superhero with a cape. These are the men who stand guard, who fight off dangers, and ensure the safety of their loved ones. This archetype is not simply about physical protection, it extends to emotional and financial security as well. It's about creating a safe haven, a shelter from the storms of life. In the past, men were often the decision makers, the heads of households, the ones who had the final say. This role was born out of the societal structure and expectations of the time. It was thought that men, being the providers and protectors, should also be the ones to guide the direction of the family, to make the tough calls. These traditional roles and expectations have a profound impact on men. They shape their identities, their self-worth, their perception of success. They can be a source of pride, a sense of purpose. Yet they can also be a burden, a source of stress and pressure. After all, to be a provider, protector, and decision-maker is a tall order. It requires strength, resilience, and wisdom. However, the world is changing and so are the men within it. The traditional man is evolving, adapting to the shifting landscape of our society. This doesn't mean discarding the virtues of the past, but rather redefining them in the context of the present. The traits of the traditional man remain, but they are expressed in new and diverse ways. The traditional man, the provider, the protector, the decision-maker, he still exists. But now, he's not just a figure from the past, he's a part of the present, shaping the future. He's not just a stereotype, he's a dynamic, multifaceted individual, and that's the beauty of it. Because the essence of being a man is not about fitting into a mold, it's about being true to oneself, in all its complexity and diversity. However, the world is changing, and so are the men within it. Enter the modern man, a product of evolving societal norms and expectations. Let's take a deeper look into what makes this man tick. This is the man who has evolved with the times, embracing change and redefining masculinity in an age of equality and acceptance. He's the man who understands that roles aren't defined by gender but by individuals and their capabilities. The modern man is not just a breadwinner, but also a co-partner in household chores. He doesn't shy away from washing dishes, cooking meals, or doing laundry. He shares these responsibilities, understanding that these tasks don't diminish his masculinity, but rather highlight his commitment to equality and partnership. Beyond the chores, he's also deeply involved in child rearing. He changes diapers, attends parent-teacher meetings, and isn't afraid to don a princess crown if it brings a smile to his child's face. He's not just a father, but a parent in every sense of the word, sharing equally in the joys and challenges of raising a child. What sets the modern man apart is his emotional openness. He understands that being strong doesn't mean being stoic. He's not afraid to express his feelings, to cry at a movie, or to seek help when he's overwhelmed. He knows that emotions are not a sign of weakness, but a sign of being human. This shift in the perception and role of men benefits everyone. It fosters healthier relationships, where tasks and emotions are shared, reducing stress and promoting mutual respect. It encourages children to grow up in a balanced environment, where they see that roles are not determined by gender, but by capability and choice. Moreover, it benefits men themselves. They can explore their full range of emotions and roles, without being bound by restrictive stereotypes. It allows them their full human experience, unhampered by expectations of what a man's would be, but the evolution doesn't stop here. Let's meet the best kind of man in today's society. Who, then, is the best kind of man in today's society? As we navigate the complexities of our contemporary world, the answer to this question may not be as simple as it once was. The best kind of man is not defined by his physical strength or his ability to provide, but rather by his emotional intelligence, his respect for women, his adaptability, resilience, and his willingness to break away from traditional gender roles. Let's start with emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is the ability to understand, use, and manage your own emotions in positive ways to relieve stress, communicate effectively, empathize with others, overcome challenges, and diffuse conflict. It's about recognizing your own emotional state and the emotional states of others. In today's society, a man with high emotional intelligence is far more appealing and effective than a man who lacks this critical skill. Next, respect for women. This is a no-brainer. The best kind of man in today's society understands and acknowledges the equality and worth of women. He respects women, not because he has a mother, a sister, or a daughter, but because women are individuals with their own rights, capabilities, and value. He doesn't feel threatened by women who challenge him or who stand up for their rights. Instead, he stands beside them, supporting them. Adaptability is another quality that defines the best kind of man. The world is changing rapidly, and the best kind of man is one who can adapt to these changes. He is not rigid in his beliefs or approach to life. Rather, he is flexible and willing to learn and grow. He knows that change is the only constant and embraces it with open arms. Resilience is a trait that has always been important, but perhaps now more than ever. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from adversity and to keep going in the face of difficulty. The best kind of man is resilient. He knows that life will throw curveballs, but he also knows that he has the strength and the ability to overcome them. Finally, the best kind of man is not afraid to break away from traditional gender roles. He knows that his value as a man is not defined by society's expectations of masculinity. He is comfortable in his own skin and is not afraid to express himself in ways that might not align with traditional notions of what it means to be a man. He can be strong and assertive, but he can also be gentle and nurturing. He is not limited by the confines of societal norms, but rather embraces his unique individuality. These men are not just changing themselves, but they are also reshaping societal norms. They are redefining what it means to be a man in today's society, and in doing so, they are creating a more equal, respectful, and understanding world for us all. These men are not just changing themselves, but they are also reshaping societal norms. So, the best kind of man is not defined by his physical strength or financial prowess, but by his ability to adapt, empathize, and respect. We've talked about the traditional man, the modern man, and ultimately, the best kind of man. The common thread: a willingness to evolve, a capacity for empathy, and a deep-seated respect for all. Society should foster these traits, encouraging men to step beyond stereotypes. In a world that's continuously changing, the best men are those who aren't afraid to change with it.